live.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yep. Hello, hello.
Hey, I know you. Are you Alemi, the famous realtor?
I am Anna Alemi.
That's awesome. Kidding aside, Anna is awesome. She's actually really inspiring as a human being. And I don't say this lightly. I genuinely believe that the compliment of being inspiring is something that I put way up there, because there is no greater gift that you can give someone than to inspire them. It's the equivalent of plugging a phone and the true people that you want to follow are not the ones that want you to become them, but the ones who are just doing it because they believe in what they're doing, they care for people, and they're passionate. And you are that. When I look at the way you deal with the staff, at the way you deal with everything, how much you care, the level of care that you have is really inspiring. And some people might even say that, it's not healthy to care so much. But you know what? There's so many people that don't care that it is needed. Now, with that, today we are talking about optimism and realty. And it's going to be more you this entire time. I really want to make sure that people understand why you are inspiring, and why is it that people should take the time to listen to a realtor? How many realtors are there in Ottawa?
Over 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then how do you know which realtor to get? Is it based on, there's a lot of factors, right? What do you think people should base it on actually when they pick a realtor?
That's a really interesting question, because I'm just trying to think back to when I first got my real estate license. I was thinking, I have to be this person, this realtor, and someone who is, I would look for clues as to how other realtors were and how my interactions with other realtors were in the past, and try to be them. But what I found as the years passed is that the more you are you, the more people tend to gravitate towards you. And not only that, you tend to attract the people that are more like you. So you have a better experience, both you and them. There are 4,000 realtors in this board, but all of them come from very different backgrounds. It's not a certain age group. One of the things that I realized is that earlier on, when I was in my 20s, when I got my real estate license, was that, there were people that just got their license like me, but they were in their retirement, like not retirement like you, early retire, like you're pretty young for your retirement, but like there are people that are, in their 60s and late 60s that just got retired and got into real estate because it has always been their passion. I mean, I think the other day we had a business meeting, and someone we met was saying how much they wanted to try real estate and how passionate they were towards it. And I said, you should go for it. And they're like, no, I'm too old. And that's not the case. So there are realtors the world of real estate is so rich because of the people that are in it with their very different backgrounds. But one of the problems that I think the industry has is that everybody tries to become that realtor that they think they're supposed to be. But the more you're you, the more you can actually contribute, the more you can actually attract the people like you and have a better experience for yourself, but also your clientele.
I found that from talking with our realtors and with other realtors, there's a lot of lateral violence within the world of realtor, which adds to the stress and all of this, which is why being optimism is really important. But with in relation to what you were saying, what was shared to me was, as an example, ageism. Ageism is similar to racism, but it's in regards to age.
It's true.
And there's even a lot of body shaming and a lot of things like that within the lateral violence. And wow, like it's intense. And the thing is, I saw some realtors who were so focusing on that, of that pain that they were getting of like never being good enough and getting too old, and like there's so much to that is really messing them up in a way, right? Like, as an example, if you base your brand as like being a pretty person or something like that, right? But you have nothing else to offer, then you're screwed. Because if your definition of pretty is to be, let's say, 25 years old, you're not going to be 25 all your life. And then all you're going to do is look at yourself in the mirror and hate yourself. And what I appreciate from you is that you are an insanely intelligent human being. And while you are a good looking human being also, you have so much to offer that people may sometimes look at you and think, oh, here's another pretty girl realtor. But in reality, it's so much more than that. Like, you do have that wisdom. You took known mentors in your career. You always look to learn and to improve every single day with an all-in goal of your life. You are insanely underappreciated for the level of the things that you do. And that's part of why I want to address this right now. Like, how did you manage to remain optimist in your day-to-day life? And how did you manage to evolve with optimism instead of being crushed by pressure?
So as you are telling me all of these different things, I have to say it's really, really hard for me to take compliments, actually. So I don't know. I just find it really hard. And oftentimes when people would give me compliments, I would either try to give a compliment back because I just can't. I just don't know how to accept it, you know?
All right, it's okay. Let it come. Let it come.
You are amazing yourself.
That's so nice.
But you are. You do amazing things. And I don't mean to I would just compliment them just to give a compliment. I truly, genuinely look for a compliment to give you. And then the other thing is just like hearing it, I just don't know what to say. Like, it's like, stop, please don't. I'm not deserving. But your question is how to remain optimistic when in the world where things are there to just crush you.
Yeah, continue to evolve within the world of realtor with optimism without being crushed.
I think it comes with just how you were brought up, I think. I think that I was always taught in my family that you might have a bad day today, but, you know, tomorrow will be a better day. Or something my father used to say is that whenever we'd go through struggles in life, especially during immigrating to Canada, he'd say, I promise you in 5 years, you'd be laughing about your today. And as time passed and I saw this repeat itself, which was true. In 5 years, we were laughing about the little struggles we had, you know, not knowing how to speak English, not being able to afford a combo at McDonald's, you know what I mean? It was these little things, these proof of what has happened in the past that made me feel that, you know, yes, today is a challenging day, but, you know, this challenge is going to help me grow, help me realize where the opportunities lie. There's always, the way I look at opportunities and getting from where you are to, you know, wherever you're supposed to go, where that amazing opportunity lies is sometimes opportunities are just like that little small hole in, and imagine you're in a cave, enclosed cave, and there's just that little hole that you got to find where, you're going to get oxygen from. That's your escape. And that's what it is. When I'm put in that kind of environment and that pressure, I look very, because you have nothing else but that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes. And the way I look at that too is like, let's say in Ottawa, there's a lot of government worker, there's military people, like a lot of uniforms. Within that, most structures and companies, like when you work for somewhere, you're kind of told what to do, and you have like the mission statement, like the vision, the ethos, the values of the company, the standing order procedure, and all that stuff. But no matter how hard you work, you have that safety net.
Right.
But for you now at your level within the game of realty, you don't have that. Now your job, amongst other things, is to create that to your team, to your behind the scenes staff, and to your realtors. And I really appreciate how much effort you put in that, so that realtors, while we empower their independence if they want it, if they need more nurturing, more advice, more helpful growth, all the work that usually they would have to do in other companies, they would have to do themselves and have all that stress from it. You created a mechanism that entitles them to not have to have that extra stress on them. But what people need to understand is that stress, it doesn't evaporate. It goes from them onto you, because now you're running the show. And that's something that when, let's say we look at a commission for a home, that's something that most people would not factor or understand. Even realtors that don't understand what it's like to run a company, there's a huge mountain to climb daily where you are continuously walking up, no matter how tired you are, no matter how cold it gets, no matter how less oxygen there is, but you are hanging in there, gripping in ice and going out, just so that for them, they can have an easier life and keep going, so that they just have to give their best. And I know it sounds weird to say that. They just have to give their best, but they do. They just have to give the best within the nest that is being provided by what is happening in the background. And beyond forming an amazing team and leading an amazing team, there's also the networking aspect with different organization, with people, and all of this is happening. Like, that's your day-to-day life. And then in the same time of that, you still sell home, because for you, it's a passion and you need that still. And that's something that's cool. Like, if you're not passionate by what you do, you're not going to inspire anyone. And while the goal is not to be inspiring, but to at least be self-conscious that you may be inspiring, because there's always someone that is watching and that, you help that. And as you focus on your passion, on your love, on your empathy, and on your genius abilities as a business person, like, you are really achieved. And a lot of people, no, I'm serious. A lot of people, they don't get to see what you have to offer and the experience that you gained. And I'm really not, please understand, I'm really not saying that to kiss butt or anything. I actually don't work for Anna technically. Like, we're a partner. But it's really impressive. And it inspires me. I find it very interesting how much you have to offer and how you have been capable of kicking your own behind when you don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning, while so many people have everything handed to them for from everyone that I spoke with so far, you had so many opportunity to take the easy route your entire life, and you never did that because you wanted to earn where you were going in life, and you wanted to know that you could do it on your own. And that is something extremely inspiring because, you know, both your parents were doctors, and your parents also, your father had businesses actually. You had all these opportunity, and meanwhile, you chose to not get what your family had to offer materialistically, but get what your family had to offer from the angle of wisdom and love and empathy and charisma and things like that. And the reason why I'm sharing this again is that there's the stereotype, right? Like people may see you and think, you know, this and that, or, you know, people critique, and there's so many realtors that it's almost like, hey, who's gonna have the best cleavage shots sometime? Like people are desperate in those picture, like guys coming out of the shower and stuff, and the six pack and all that. I'm hating on them a bit because I definitely lost mine. Just kidding. Good for you if you have a six pack. I will get mine back. I will. Anyway, please, please explain to us, how is it that you manage to self-regulate so well whenever you have an opportunity to improve?
There were a lot of things you said there before I get to that
Sorry,
question.
it's kind of loaded.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. So I truly believe in leading by example. I have been following some people that I thought were leaders, but they weren't actually leading. And that was what was a problem, because as I'm sure all of us can relate, where we thought we're leading the right, we're following the right leader, and then only to find out that, oh my goodness, you know, this person is actually, they can't get their own life in place, right? So earlier in my real estate career, yes, I joined a team as well, and you know, or I would talk to senior agents where I was there to just figure it out, you know, only to find out that they did not have a proper system or idea as to how to go about it. And it was very frustrating because I saw the load of work that is required by a realtor, and there was no clear path as to how to go about it and find out what needs to happen, right? So that was a struggle right there. But also it was, you know, what you're saying about what makes me want to take the hard path. I think it again comes back from my childhood. It's like I was the youngest, and I know some people argue that the baby of the family is the one that gets babied and spoiled and things like that. And especially being the youngest and the only daughter, you would think that, oh my gosh, she was spoiled, she got everything she wanted. But that was not the case for me. And not that my parents were not, you know, were not taking it, for sure. They did so many great things. I had the most amazing parents. I can't stop talking about my parents even till now, or till ever. But it's just that I find, like, as a third or as a youngest child, you tend to look at everybody and what they're doing, and you learn through other people a lot. And that's something that I was fortunate to have. Like, it's really hard to be the first child because you're the one that's being experimented on. Whereas the youngest child gets to see all of these different things. Plus, they get a more mature and experienced parent. So I was given stuff, but in controlled in a controlled environment because there are two other siblings ahead of me. And I would see sometimes if a certain route was taken was not necessarily the best route. And being the third child and the youngest and a girl in a country where it was male dominant country, not only in the country but also in my family. Like me and my cousins, they're mostly guys and they're girls. And it's funny because the generation after, they're more girls than guys, and it's kind of funny. I'm like, yay, we're winning.
Vendetta.
There's a whole story to that. Like, it's funny how certain men tend to have daughters. It's like it's like, I don't know. It's, yeah.
4 daughters, 2 sons,
Yes.
so I get it.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a karma there when you have a lot of daughters. So yeah, for me, just being in that environment with a lot of guys around, I had to figure my own voice. I had to figure out ways in which where, everybody was kind of, they were the oldest, more experienced. This one does this in sports and that one does that, and so on and so forth. And, I'm the youngest cousin, So just watching everybody and seeing things, I needed to, I guess, find my own identity and find who I am and not be under everybody's shadow, because I was under everybody's shadow. I needed to find my voice. And I think more than anything, that is what has driven me to everything that I do. It's not, is it a need for money? Is it a need out of hunger? Sure. There were times where, I think I discussed that in past episodes. But more than anything, it's really to just prove it, not to them, but to myself, that I'm capable of doing that.
I feel like, of course, for CEO, optimism and consistency, like, the basics of being able to be successful, of course it's needed. But from talking with you, what I find really passionating, both your parents with title, may you please share your parents' full name just to honor their memory?
Oh, yes. My mom was Angelita Alemi, and her previous last name was Latara, and my father's name was Feridun Alemi.
So and correct me if I'm wrong, but through the discussions that we've had, your father was kind of a master of business optimism. Moving forward with optimism in business. And your mother was a life philosopher, optimism of moving forward as a human.
That's a very good observation. Wow.
And it really made you balance between who you are as a human being and who you are as a businesswoman. And your self-regulation is the thing that amazed me the most. When you look at an AI image that's being generated, it's kind of foggy. It's almost like how images were coming down back in the day when internet started. But if you look at it carefully, you can see the patterns that keep changing with hypothetical ways that some things are going to be based. And the further you build your image and your AI, the more of this you see. And that's actually how you deal with your emotion. When you get, as an example, a constructive criticism, whether you don't know if it's constructive or not yet, you pause. And within that pause, I can actually read in your face how much is going through. And then you become just like that AI that is, all right, okay, deep breath. And then now let's look at this with vulnerability. Is that hypothetically possible? Okay, let's go with benefit of the doubt. And then you kind of compute all the other thing. And sometimes I even see you go with people and you say, thank you. I will think about it and I will process it. And I appreciate the feedback. And you are genuinely grateful. I've seen people being rude to you, and you took a moment to look inward and to make sure that you were calming yourself.
Wow.
But that's the thing, though. Like
That is crazy.
people intellectualize things, right? And you do. You intellectualize
Yeah.
things. But here's the difference, though. You intellectualize things through a filter of optimism and with emotional intelligence. That's next level stuff. And even if it's not for Realtor, there is a lot to learn from that. That is really cool. To me, you are an emotional intelligence guru. I really appreciate that.
That's crazy.
See, I can look at people and what I have learned in my life to do outward, you are capable of doing it inward in completely having control over yourself. And you're not someone that tries to control people outward. You just control yourself inward with balance, with good faith, good values, good everything, and then you inspire. And that's your way to lead, not by controlling, by inspiring. And that is remarkable. I didn't mean to get you to cry.
Yeah,
by the way.
I have no idea why. I feel like it's yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm touched. You would imagine that's why I'm crying. But I feel that I think from your observation and analyzing my parents, that was pretty darn accurate, which is crazy. And then when you said that I do that internally, I mean, I guess I know I do it, but I never actually had it, because I have been asked this question, what is it that drives you? And or what makes you have this attitude of being happy, even when there's a lot to not be happy about.
Yeah. Happiness is a choice, right?
It is. It is. And oftentimes people see that smile, people see that when you are the most pleasant, and they think that that's you 24/7. They think that you must just have such a great life. You must have had no issues ever in your life. Yet it's funny because the most smiley people have had the hardest experiences in their lives. And so even with yourself, like, I mean, your story is pretty remarkable as well. And I'm not giving you compliment because you were showering me with compliments.
Well, you did say that you do that earlier.
Good point. But I also said when I give compliments, it's genuine. I don't just make it up.
I'm just teasing. Yeah.
But, you too, you have gone through a lot of stuff, hella stuff to get to where you are. And you are very... to me, you are very inspiring. When I first got to know you and knowing what you do, and what the experiences were of your past, it is so inspiring. The first thing that I thought was really cool is I always had a fascination with people that were in any kind of structural environment where life and death is literally on the line, because that is always very inspiring to me, because you have to think fast. Everything makes such a big impact. And so somebody like yourself who was in the Canadian Armed Forces, that intrigued me. It was the first thing that when I saw and I thought, all about the details and how to take action really fast, and how to build something. It's all about systems. So it totally fascinated me. But then knowing you more and more and finding out what it is that like the struggles that you went through and how you came on top of it every single time, that is also very inspiring. And so what you say, how you are on the outwards and, and the way I am inwards, I never looked at it that way. And I think that's what touched me a lot. I think as a leader, you have to lead yourself first. You have to, one of the things I grew up with, my father would say, if you want to find out if somebody's a great manager, you got to look at them first, like look at their desk, So it's something that every time my desk gets messy, I think to my father, like, oh, okay, I'm going to clean it up. But I seen how people try to tell people to do things in a controlling way. And again, that's probably from experience of watching. So being the youngest child, youngest sibling, one of the things you learn fast is observing other people and other things. And if this happens, this can happen. You have a lot of big samples. So you tend to observe everybody else a lot. And because of that, I also, I guess, realized that punishment and controlling and things like that is not the way to get somebody to do something. Coming also from a family with two different religions, two different cultural backgrounds, two different legit, my dad was from Iran and my mom from the Philippines. Very, very different cultures.
And now you're Canadian.
and now I'm Canadian.
Yeah, all these.
So it's like two different cultures, and they also speak two different languages too, other than English. So coming from that and realizing the biggest issue between them was really miscommunication. Like I'd be talking to my mom and totally understand where she's coming from and agreeing with her, but simultaneously looking at my dad and talking to him and understanding his point of view and totally agreeing with him. And then coming to an idea, to the realization that the biggest problem with these two is that why they're having this conflict this moment is because they cannot communicate. And I think it all comes down to that as well. Understanding, observing, trying to see where the opportunities lie. And that there is an opportunity in the midst of a conflict. There is that opportunity. So, talking about, I think a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the companies that we are weaving together. And one of them being peace, bringing peace. I know we talk about it often. And even when you first said it, I was like, okay, like peace. But is it doable? Is it possible? And I think it's very philosophical. Yes. It's a philosophical thought process. But I think at one point, if you lead if you're somewhat in the norm of where normal people are, then you at one point wanted that, even wanted that for yourself as a person, right?
I feel like, well, that's actually a thing, not what I feel.
The tissue box right there, if you don't mind, if you just can grab it, so I don't.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say it was in the camera. I was confused.
No. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about
so
that.
With optimism and then the opposite side, pessimism, there's often a conflict between the two of them. Like some pessimists will say, no, like pessimists win, no, optimism win. But there's more to it. there's informed optimism and informed pessimism, right? And that makes a world of difference, where you can just choose to smile, but
Yeah.
you can choose to give yourself a reason to smile also, right? And there's a
Yeah.
big difference between the two things. And some people, because there's always going to be the balance, like, oh, you're an opportunist, as if it's a bad thing. No, like that's how you move forward. And that's the difference between someone that
Yeah.
get carried around and someone that carry others around. The person that carry others around does not have that sleigh to sit in. But then when you are the one, like when you're the horse pulling that sleigh, it's different. It's completely different. And often that's why when they communicate together, when the horse tries to speak with the people in the back, while the horse is doing all the work, it's usually the horse that gets in trouble because there's too many bumps in the back.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And these are the kind of perspective that with communication and with optimism, what I found is that by seeing things with image, I'm obsessed with art. I just actually closed the art deal this week. Woohoo! I'm really excited about that. Yeah. So that was really cool, by the way. When I'm still stoked by it, but yeah. Wow, I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, so horse and sleigh. What I mean is those perspectives are so difficult in communication. And that's why we have to be able to really put ourselves into so many different angles. And empathy sometimes does not go far enough. To be able to have empathy, you have to put it in perspective with imagery and metaphors and things like that, right? And that is a form of art. Optimism, when you're the horse pulling the sleigh, is a genuine work of art that is completely undervalued, where people will look at, is that a good horse? Is that a good looking horse? Can that horse pull long enough? Is that horse too old? Is that, when in reality, the horse is doing all the work, regardless of what the ones in the back are going to look at and complain about, because it's bumpy, right? With that understanding as a realtor that people are human beings and that perspectives are different in a world where social media is dividing us so much. It is truly a gift at the right time in history. And as we work together on our different company, and as you know, if you buy or sell with Alemi real estate team, the profits in large part are in our other business, which are growing laterally and creating AI for peace, optimist education, and all of these different things like areas where people can discuss things in safe space. And there is so much behind it, because the money that you make from real estate, it's not about having a golden bowl on the table. It's about having a golden heart as a member of society. And that's what's important. And to me, it's the reason why I hang out here. I do more than hanging out here, but
Yeah, you do.
yeah,
Do you? No.
my point is, that's what's inspiring. Every company has a vision statement now because, that's, some of them say, that's trendy, it's a need, blah, blah, blah. We did not come up with a vision statement as a marketing stunt. We genuinely wanted this our entire life, and we finally found a way to mutually support each other into achieving success at creating a better world. And by better, it's not in a judgy, egomaniac way or anything like that. It's really at just empowering people to see how it is to live through the lens of optimist peace. That's cool. Like, we live in a society that is currently black or white. You know, with the silos, it's either you're in my team or you're the enemy. That's horrible, you know? And these are the kind of tools with AI that we're also working on, in being able to truly look beyond that, so that we can ask ourselves, am I just being used by AI, or am I using AI? Because there is a huge difference between the two. So I think that you are the perfect human for that position, because something you learn in the army, since you mentioned that earlier, is that in the army, it's so hard to say that without saying a bad word. In the army, sorry.
Let me get myself ready for
in the army, often shits get real, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just talk, you have to back it up. And whenever you're in a realm of society where you have to back up what you say, you learn to not just say things. And that is a gift as a human that is being too lost, right? It's like a dying art form to be more than a speech, to actually bust your behind at making that great idea into something. Because everybody has great idea, right? But who can put that in place? We need someone like you who can do this. And we're in Ottawa, the land of photo op, right? And there's that angle of, oh, great, she's a woman. Oh, great, she's of mixed ethnicity. That is amazing. Oh, she's a young woman. Oh, now she's...
It's funny you say that. I never saw myself that too, though.
Exactly.
It's funny.
And that's what I love.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, in real estate, there's a lot of, I mean, in business, there's a lot of men, right? And to be a woman in a man's world, it's second nature to me because of my family experience. I was majority, there were men in my home. And then being of mixed background, it was only... like, I didn't see myself as that, and I still don't kind of see myself as that. I'm trying to get to know me more and more and more. But it's, I when you say that, I don't see that. It took a while before I realized I look a little Asian, maybe. Yeah.
So I have witnessed myself and now participated in the way that the companies are working here. We genuinely care about our staff, and we try our best to empower them and support them. And you've exposed me to a lot of other realtors agency, and as I got to explore and meet some other agency, I gotta be honest, that's my own perspective, but
I'm worried about that.
It is cold. Like, where is the love? Like, people are stepping on each other and making them like piggy banks, and it's really strange laterally amongst realtors and in the companies that they're working for. And I may say things wrong, I'm sorry. Like, I'm still learning a lot about the realtors industry.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to drop anyone in particular or anything, but it's just, it's not a healthy world often. And what we're creating here is that healthy, warm place that when, just like in the military, where when someone needs help, everybody's there. And if you're not there, then you didn't belong in the team in the first place, unless you're also in a moment in your life where you needed to be alone. And then, hey, you're next. Now we're all going to you, right? When we say that we are treating this like a family, we're not just saying that. Every company say, oh yeah, we're a family here, but we're genuinely like a family. And we're accepting that as a family, sometimes there are things to learn, sometimes there are hiccups, sometimes there are things that we have to do better, sometimes there's conflict. And we resolve that, because the difference between a family and a workplace is that in the workplace, if someone is not meeting the standard,
Yeah.
they're dropped, right? You're like, all right, trash days on Tuesday type of thing. But here, the first thing we do is, hey, let's figure out how we can find another spot for this person. Let's figure out what their passion, goals, and dreams are in life. Let's empower them. Oh, actually, you didn't want to be a realtor. You wanted to be a lawyer. Well, let's see if we can help you with that. And all of these different possibilities that, like with our staff, like, hey, when I grow up, I want to be owning my company for this, and that. All right, well, guess what? We are gonna train you and employ you so that you can leave us. Well, we're gonna want to keep you, but at least you're gonna, we leave it better behind, right? So that whether people want to stay or whether they want to go, at least while they were here, we did not add trauma. We helped scraping them off, or at best, we did not add trauma, right? And if you do stay here, beyond that, then there's all the opportunity for growth. Often people are going to think that the training that you do is like the PowerPoints and stuff like that, because they are checking the box that need to be instructed within the world of realty.
Yeah.
But when our realtors are coming in and they're requesting specific training, we customize top level training for our realtors and for our staff based on anything that they ask for. We've provided so much support to our staff here, and these are things that we're doing together, where I've learned in the military too, and you've learned from your life experience, from your empathy and your background in medical psychology. Is that what you would call it?
No.
Oh, sorry.
But you
Bachelor
made
in
it
science.
a lot bigger than it is.
Okay, sure.
Bachelor of Science in Psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry. Still pretty cool and practical in life, right? I mean, that plus how you were raised in business, because while your parent did not give you the object, they gave you a way greater gift, which is the ability to get that for yourself, right? And to get that for those that you love. And that's what made you the horse instead of the person in the sleigh. And that's cool. If I may take a little 2 second, I apologize. I know that I'm not big on commercial, and that's going to be a 2 second thing. I see some people getting ready to fast forward. Don't do that. At least we pick cool stuff that we believe in. So as you can see, our shirt, we're not just being corny and matching. Hard Rock Cafe, Ottawa. Ottawa. What the hell is that? Welcome to Ottawa.
You said you like to maintain your charm.
Would you
That's
like
why.
some tea?
So he can speak in so many different. Yeah, you can. You can. You're pretty talented.
Back
you
to.
can speak with any accent.
It's about Anna. It's about Anna today. All right.
Do the southern accent really good. I can't believe it. And I'm like, why do you have an accent? It's like, it's part of my charm. So
here's
Ottawa.
why. Okay, here's why. And I know it's gonna sound weird. I did not speak a word of English until I was around 21 years old.
Yeah.
And accents were tough because I was in the military where there were so many different accents because of the diversity within the Canadian Armed Forces.
So true.
And not only funny story, I hope I never shared that on there. My first corporal that was assigned for me as a brand new private, teaching me English. So the sergeant literally said, teach him English, because there was backfill for the English training, And back then it was like, what, 2 to 4 years, I think. So it was like based on certain rank at that point. Like now it's different. But wow, it was tough. But then here's the funny part. The guy was from The Rock. He was a Newfoundlander.
Oh, ooh.
So that was really funny because I arrive in British Columbia and I'm so confused of everything. And people said, if you don't know what they're saying, just smile. And I'm like, 24/7, and I was the happy idiot basically, and it was like, man, that guy's an idiot. And that's the thing too, I was treated even more like an idiot because I didn't speak the language. It's a huge culture shock, right, in many different ways. But then first person was from Newfoundland. Yes, boy. And and then after that, my best friend at the time was from Dominica. And then most of my relations and relatives there were indigenous. So the strong accent from the res. And then there's some British people. There was a strong British population. There was a lot of people from India, but like really recent from India. And it was hard for me to understand them. And I would really hyper focus because I didn't want to be disrespectful. And as a young soldier, I didn't want to be in trouble, right? So I found that by listening to shows where people speaks those accents, it was helping that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No.
I went way off with that.
No, it's good. Ottawa. Hard Rock Cafe, Ottawa.
Harry Potter.
Ottawa, yeah.
All right. Hard Rock Cafe, if you've never been there, it's really cool. It's actually owned by, the brand itself was owned and founded by a First Nation community in the United States, which is pretty cool. And a lot of people don't know that. What makes them famous is their endorsement with tons of celebrity, so that you get to be all fan about it, that you go over there and it's like, hey, there's a drawing by, let's say, J-Lo, or this is the underwear of, I don't know, Patrick Swayze, or like all of these. I mean, they have a bit of everything, right? Rest in peace. It's really cool over there. There's a really neat vibe. It just reopened, and it has that really.
It's
neat,
funny. It's I lived in Ottawa, and I would drive past it a lot, but yeah, it was my first time there, and it was really, really cool. It's definitely worth something to go visit. For the longest time, for casino, I'd go across the bridge, but no need for that. It's really, really cool. So I'm really appreciative that you introduced me to that, and it looks really awesome inside.
Thank you. We could have gone to the grand reopening on, I think it was July 3rd. One of the main guests was April Levine, who I believe has a partnership with the place. But I have PTSD, so crowds are really difficult for me, and casino has lights everywhere, and I also have seizure disorder. So I mean, it's not a great 2-for-1 to go to a casino, and I really appreciated how you instead came with me when it was the quiet time. And so we did not get to see as much of the pizzazz that is happening there, but still I appreciate that, because while we really did not stay long, because I can't really stay long in those kind of places, it was still just long enough that we had a great time. And been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Woo! So Hard Rock Cafe.
Actually, these are collectibles too. So if you are into collectible things, you want to get yourself there, because I think the lady was saying once they're out, they're not coming back.
That's the 2025 edition of the shirt. And all right, let me try something.
Yeah. Show your back.
I think I'm gonna have to go on my knee because I'm a little bit too tall to get in the camera. I just got down like I'm 80 years old, but represent.
It's pretty cool.
I don't know if you can see
Love the graphics in the back with the guitar and everything.
All right.
Very cool.
So back to optimism. Let's get to, I guess, that conclusion. I felt like a cat trying to find the right spot on the couch there as I sat back. You know when they go like this?
Do I? I have cats, a lot of cats.
How many cats do you have? Okay, we don't have to go there. I'm just messing with you.
I have 2 cats.
Crazy cat lady. No, I'm just kidding.
Meow.
Is that the ASMR moment? Hold on.
Wow, that's really cool. See, it's funny because in Iran there were a lot of street cats. I didn't like cats, and then I didn't know that cats purr until I actually end up having one, which is funny. But yeah, so
some music artist purrs also.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like who is it? Cardi B and.
Cardi B, I don't know who that is.
What's the other one? Who was there before Cardi B? What's her name again?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm team Nicki Minaj. I do really like Nicki Minaj. If you ever get a chance to listen to her interview where she is sort of masked down and really explaining her persona that helps her deal with her anxiety. She's a really smart person. Hey, Nicki Minaj, come on our show, please. Yeah. We'll buy you a drink at Hard Rock Cafe, Ottawa.
Ottawa. Did it again.
Yeah. All right. So, Anna, what do you recommend realtors or anyone watching the show to do daily to help maintaining their informed optimism? This is your pageant question.
I know. I feel like every question feels like that. I am not a pageant girl, though.
That's okay.
To maintain my optimism. So many things. Like I have done so many different rituals, and I'm still in search of rituals. I think it's really connected. When I first got into the world of real estate, they were talking about these things, and I'm like, oh, what is this? This is too much, crazy stuff. Let's get real. But the more and more I allowed it, the better it got. And, you got to find your way of balancing yourself. For me, can be anywhere from meditation, listening to certain sound waves, which I haven't actually shown you. I wanted to show you, which is really cool. I had a track. I purchased a track of 8 different tracks that I would listen to every morning.
Was that your tape cassette in the 80s?
It was, yeah. I'm really into crystals. I even for this particular, in my office, there's a lot of crystals, which I'm really excited about. And they were at home and I brought them. I just brought one of the crystals here too. I love crystals. The more I learn about them, the more I love them. Again, it's not about your religion. Of course, I have been exposed to few religions in my life, coming from Iran, which is Muslim, and my mom being Catholic, and then being brought up in Thornhill of Toronto, which is a Jewish neighborhood, and visited Asia with all of these different religions that they have over there. So I have been exposed to a few different things, I think, and that is totally personal. At the end of the day, I think that we got to focus on the commonalities instead of the differences. That's what I learned from being with the background of my parents. So for me, I love crystals. They were they're part of Earth, and the way they were formed and their shapes, and there's a lot that goes farther in detail, and I'm no expert in the subject matter at all, because I was just introduced to crystals not too long ago, maybe a year. And I remember the first time I walked into a crystal shop, I thought it was interesting. I was intrigued. I'm never scared. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people, they're scared of the unknown. They're scared that somehow they would get pushed or persuaded to do something. I was never that person. I'm the person where I'm like, okay, let me, I want to discover, because if anything bad happens, it's fine. I will face it. I am okay to face it. So walked into this crystal shop, and the girl there, she took her time to explain to me what's the whole thing behind crystals. And then I grabbed a crystal. I said, "Oh, what about this?" And she said, "It's interesting because I don't like to tell you about each of the crystals. The crystal that you get attracted to is the crystal that you most need in your life to bring that balance." And that's how she introduced it to me, and I loved it. And so, yeah, I've been building my collection of crystals here. And
it's funny because I actually grew up in the crystal culture. It was
Really?
it was a really
Okay.
big thing around me growing up. One of my aunt loved it. There was a lady like back in the day when you had the milkman and all that.
Yeah.
There was actually a crystal person
Really?
that would come in to people that were
Wow.
subscribing, would put that doll on the table, and then it was like a big thing. And there's a lot of people that are gonna overdo it and go in the realm of snake oil. And that's what I will warn you about. Focus on yourself, your relationship with it. And I'll give an example. So what's the name of this one again? I got it
Opalite.
right from- Opalite, which is the same thing I have on my pennant. So with this opalite, it's not about, hey, is this like a Harry Potter thing that it's going to open a portal or something? Or a bubble bath with no purpose. There's so much more. There's so much more to this. This was created by the earth itself, right? This is a natural thing. That's not factory made.
Yeah.
And that already is something beautiful, because that is an artwork that was
Of
made
Mother Earth. Yeah.
by Mother Earth, right? And when you look at this particular type, when you look at the light on it and the way it reflects, it's something that really helps me meditate myself, because I just go like this and I try to focus in observing the way that light reflects in every angle. And because I tend to think a million flashlight hours per second type of thing, that I can't ever rest in my mind, to me, that's a bit of a break, where I look at the light reflecting on it and the colors and the shade. And then I take the time to appreciate the fact that it was created by the earth, but also when it's a sphere. To have a sphere that is almost perfect, it means that it had to roll in every direction, right? And that's something really interesting that to me somehow amazed me. I always love rock tumbler, by the way. I'm that kind of guy. I got a few rock tumbler.
I had a rock we have a couple, but my kids love the rock tumbler and vroom, and makes this noise. But then when you see the rocks after, they're beautiful. Yeah.
Now, to me, they're very special. I was that kid that would grab a rock from the ground every time I had a special moment, and I would keep it in my pocket. My father used to tell me that a family thing that him and his brother would do was to grab a rock that fit perfectly in your hand when you close it with a closed fist, so that if something happened, then it helps reinforcing your fist.
Wow.
Disclaimer, complete disclaimer. I don't know if it is healthy for your wrist. Like if you end up doing that and break your wrist, I had nothing to do with it. Well, I kind of did, but I didn't. Like, I mean, don't do it at home, nor on the streets.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I see my opalite slowly getting hidden in your fist, and oops,
Yeah, no, I don't like that. But it's just if you do that with a rock, and then you look at these two rocks, and one rock is just a rock that it can be gravel. Yeah. But then the other one that is another gravel, actually you found it on your wedding day. You found it on when someone close to you passed away. You got it when you graduated from school. Now one of them has a story.
Yeah.
And why not actually having one that looks amazingly beautiful? So that when you have that and remember the moment, there's more to it that you can look at. And that's what is, that other layer cool. And again, there's so many angles with these things. The reason why, sorry about that.
Let you stretch.
I think it's very interesting that you brought that up as part of optimism, because that's those moments, right? It's being able to and carpe diem yourself in that moment.
And focus on the beauties, on the good things.
Leveling.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys thought it was interesting. Hard Rock Cafe. If you so thank you for welcoming us. We had a great time. We kind of browsed it like a museum. We didn't even do the gambling side of things.
No.
It was just looking at all the different artists and like what they brought to the table, like cool hat, cool shirt, cool artwork. So it was fun. It was really fun.
It was very fun. Yeah. And it looked really legit and cool. And it actually reminded me of one of the casinos I went to in the Philippines, a smaller version of it, but still very nice and well presented. So nice to have those little things in Ottawa. And I'm just discovering a lot of Ottawa, which I'm really grateful to you. And, I know this was about me, but like when you say you've done a lot more than just hanging out the office, that is 100% facts. First and foremost, like our backdrop here is as a result of you've put this together. It's beautiful, and our office keeps thriving with great energy, and it's as a result of you. You have brought a lot to our office, which is I'm grateful for this partnership, and I wanted to tell you that as well.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
If I can suggest something to our people watching, something I've learned in life that really helped me is that I get bored or underwhelmed easily. And because of that, I need to remain passionate. And if you do too much of something, it's hard to be passionate because you're doing too much of it. But if you do, let's say, as many as you want, 25 things per day that you're passionate about for a certain amount of time, that you at least do one thing. Like this morning, I screwed, maybe 3 more planks of wood. Right? I have a thing over there, a plumbing thing that, hey, I put the stuff that was gotten for that by the sink. And then later, I'm going to go and at least do a step of it. And people may think that when they walk in, as an example, or when they see it, they would be like, what is this? What's going on? There's these things. It's just like us as a human being. We evolve every day by walking at least one step forward daily. And that should happen internally and externally. If every day in your home, you don't just clean what you have, you improve. by one step of every angle that you wish to improve. You try to do that one step per day. Try to become better at emotional intelligence. Try to become better at communicating. Try to become better at sucking it up sometime, right? That, like when you're in pain and things like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, on
That's
that,
true.
that's my challenge to you guys. Please subscribe, share. We would really appreciate if you guys are helping us sharing the video. It's just we do have a few hundred people that watch this. We need you guys' help to bring that next level. If you guys don't like it, tell us why. We'll look into it and we'll make it better. If
Or
you guys
come
have-
on the show even.
Yeah,
We'd love to
entirely.
bring you. We've been talking to certain people as well, and we're gonna have guests here.
Yes.
But yes, we're gonna have a guest where they're gonna be talking about their crystals. We have a guest that we spoke about with regards to wood carving. Here, everybody that we have chosen as a result of you and your awesome way of just talking to people, communicating. They're all locally curated, so they are all within Ottawa, which is really, really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've talked a lot for today already.
Yeah. So we're
thank you
gonna
very
call
much.
it.
Yeah.
We're calling it a day, and thank you all for joining us for yet another podcast. Thank you. Thank you.
Peace.
We gotta get the dancing. Woo! All right.
Yeah.
We're still live.
May I see this again? That's so cool.
The stand.